Hi, my name is Amelia Finley. We're gonna be doing a hip opener lunge balance class. Today, you're gonna need 2 blocks and a blanket. Let's get started. You're gonna start in your comfortable seated position, legs crossed or wherever it feels good. And we're gonna start by taking some big deep breaths. So filling the entire belly up with air, breathing into the space between the ribs, the low back, the pelvic floor, all around, filling the entire canister up with air. And as we inhale, I want you to imagine that you're breathing in this light, this love, this joy, everything that is good in your life. And as you exhale, you are exhaling everything that's bad, everything that's yucky, everything that does not serve you today for practice and for the rest of your day. We're gonna continue this process, and as you breathe in, allow the light to fill your body. So as you inhale, the light comes down into your canister, wrapping around your limbs. And as you inhale, more good comes in, and as you exhale, the less bad comes out. We'll take a couple more big deep breaths here. In and out. Beautiful. We can flutter those eyes open and we'll get moving. We're gonna start in our comfy seated position, and we're just taking some body circles, some cat-cows, some wiggles, whatever would feel good, allowing movements to be generic. Good. And then we're gonna come to that flat back, and we'll take some nice controlled cat-cows all together. So we're lifting the chest up towards the sky, and then rounding that spine, pressing belly button back behind you. And then rolling all the way back up. Exhaling, rolling forward. A few more here, inhaling up. And then exhaling forward. Beautiful. We're gonna come back up to that flat back. We'll get some side bends. So right hand comes out to the side, left hand is reaching up and over. Big deep breath here, reaching towards the side of your space. And then we're cartwheeling those hands. Left hand plants, right hand reaches. One more time each side here. Dropping over to the right. And then dropping over to the left. Beautiful. Those hands can come to heart center. We're gonna get a big belly breath in, and we're exhaling, twisting over towards the right. Exhaling from the belly here. Front hand plants, back hand reaches behind you to either plant down on your mat or maybe up on a block. We're gonna get another big deep breath here, and then exhale all of that air out, twisting a little bit deeper. Front hand's gonna stay where it is, and that back hand is reaching up and over. Beautiful. Now both hands plant on both knees, and we're rounding everything forward. And then rolling up nice and slow here. At the top, we're gonna get a couple shoulder rolls. So pulling the shoulders up towards your ears and then letting them slide all the way down the back. Moving one direction. And then we'll go ahead and swap directions. Good. Now those hands can come back to heart center. We're gonna get a big belly breath in, exhaling all of the air out, twisting to the left this time. Front hand plants and back hand reaches. Chest is up nice and tall here. Maybe get another big deep breath in, and then exhale, twisting deeper. Beautiful. Front hand stays where it is, back hand reaches up and over. Coming into our funky twisted side bend. Good. Both hands plant on both knees, rounding everything forward. Then we can roll everything up nice and slow. Now we're gonna rock forward, coming into our tabletop. If you would like to grab a blanket up under those knees, you are more than welcome to. We're starting in our tabletop, just kind of rocking side to side, maybe moving around the wrists, creating some body circles, cat cows, anything that might feel good here. Everything is just still getting warm. Good. Maybe you're getting some snap, crackle, pops, maybe not. Now we're gonna take our right wrist, and that right palm is flipping up towards the sky, and those fingertips are facing towards you. And we're gonna start by rocking back and forth on this hand, opening up that wrist, making it nice and warm. Nice. And then those fingertips can face inward. And now we're gonna rock side to side. Good. And then this wrist can come up and we'll just kind of create some circles, figure eights, whatever might feel good. And then both hands plant back down. This time left palm is flipping up and fingertips are facing you. And we're rocking back and forth. Forward and back, warming up that wrist and that forearm. Then those fingertips are facing inward and we're rocking side to side. Then we can come up either to tall kneeling, or if you'd like to sit back onto the heels, you can do that as well. And we're just gonna create some wrist circles. And then we're gonna flick that water off of those fingertips. Wonderful. Then we're coming back down into our tabletop position, and that right leg is gonna kick out to the side. And you're gonna start by rocking and rolling back and forth on this leg, opening up that inside thigh. Good. Now we're gonna bring a bend into the knee and kind of create some hip circles on this leg. Good. Then we're gonna bring this foot and step it all the way across our body. So we're coming into kind of this kneeling curtsy lunge. And you're pressing that rib cage over towards the right while you drop into that left hip this way and looking over that shoulder towards the toes. Good. And we're lifting right foot back up and stepping it all the way forward, coming into our runner's lunge. You can let the hips get really, really heavy here. Maybe roll to the outside edge of the foot, rocking side to side. Maybe you find some blocks coming down onto your forearms. Bringing the ground a little closer to you. Just letting those hips open up. Good, then we can plant those hands back down. I like to use my blocks here for a little half split, but if you don't need them, you don't need them. So we're gonna tuck those toes so they're coming up and we're up on that heel. And we're rocking back. Feel free to sit all the way down if it feels good. You can play with rocking back and forth and in and out of this. Or maybe you hang out in whatever pose feels best. Beautiful. Now we can drop those blocks out of the way. We're gonna plant those hands, and this foot's coming all the way back behind us, so now we're back in our tabletop. Now, left leg lifts, left leg is stepping all the way out to the side here, and we're rocking and rolling back and forth, opening up that inside thigh. Beautiful. Then we can play and bring a bend into that knee, creating some hip circles. Opening everything up. Nice. Now our left leg is gonna lift and we're stepping it all the way back behind us, coming into this curtsy lunge. We're dropping into this right glute as we press our rib cage over towards the left and look over our shoulder. Getting a couple breaths here. Beautiful. Then this foot can lift and step all the way forward, coming into our lizard or our runner's lunge. And we can start by letting the hips get really, really, really heavy. So I want you to think about pressing the hips forward. Maybe you come down onto forearms. Maybe you roll to the outside edge of this foot, whatever might feel good. And then if you'd like, you can rock back into that half split and move between the two, so rocking forward and back. Again, you are more than welcome to add props here, using your blocks as you walk forward and back. Beautiful. Now we're tucking our leg back into our tabletop position, planting those hands. We're tucking those toes and pressing those hips up into our down dog here. In your down dog, I want you to play with bending and straightening the knees, pedaling out those feet. This is your first down dog of class, probably most of y'all's first down dog of the day, so take a second, walk it out. Beautiful. All right, now we're gonna lift that right leg in your down dog and step it all the way forward, coming into a warrior one on this side. So in our warrior one, those front toes are facing forward and back toes are ever so slightly down to the mat. Arms are reaching up overhead, shoulders are rolled down and back, and both hip points are facing forward. This is your warrior one. Keeping a good strong bend in that front knee. Nice work, warriors, keep it up. Now we're bending those elbows, shoulder blades pull together. Maybe the heart lifts up towards the sky. Maybe your gaze even goes up. And then we're pressing that wall away, rounding it forward. And then everything comes back up. Exhale, elbows pull down towards hips. We're pressing that wall away. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale. Now, next time those elbows are down towards your hips, we're flipping those palms, interlacing them behind our low back. So you're here, allowing the hands to drop a little bit lower, opening up that chest. Beautiful. Now we're dropping that nose towards that knee, allowing the hands to come up off the low back if it feels good, maybe not. A little bit of a balance challenge here. Lovely. Now, staying folded forward, we're gonna let those hands go and roll everything up nice and slow. Beautiful. Now we're planting through this front leg. Back knee comes in towards heart center. Taking a second, add a little bit of a balance challenge here. Then we're opening this knee out to the side and planting that tree wherever it might land. So in our tree, both hip points are facing forward. This knee is actively pressing out long, almost like if we were trying to fit in between two glass panels. Arms can be at cactus, we can be up overhead, we can be at heart center, whatever feels good. Good, we're planting through base of big toe, base of pinky toe, and heel here. Maybe getting some wobbles. Good. Then this knee can come back in towards heart center. We'll drop it down and shake it out. Inhale, arms are reaching up overhead. Exhale, folding it forward. Maybe taking a second here, grabbing the opposite elbows with the opposite hands, rocking side to side. Shaking the head yes and no. Wonderful. Now we're going to plant those hands and step back into our down dog. We got a whole nother side to do. So left leg is going to lift. Left leg steps all the way forward, coming into your warrior one on this side. So front toes are facing forward. Back toes are ever so slightly turned out to the side. Hips are forward, arms are up overhead, and shoulders are down and back. We're coming back to that arm flow we did on the other side. So elbows are pulling down towards hips, chest reaches, maybe the eyes lift up, and then we're pressing forward. Inhale, back up. Exhale, press down, and then all the way back around. All right, now that those elbows are back down towards our hips, we're interlacing those hands behind the low back, dropping them a little bit lower towards the ground, chest opens. And then we're dropping that nose towards that knee. Maybe the hands lift up off the low back, maybe not. Beautiful. Staying folded forward. We're letting those hands go and then rolling everything up nice and slow. One vertebra at a time. All right, we're planting through our front leg. Back knee comes in towards heart center. A little balance challenge here. Then we're opening this knee and planting that tree wherever it might land. We're planting through base of big toe, base of pinky toe, and heel on this standing leg. Our right glute is squeezing to pull the knee open. Arms can be down by your side, up overhead, cactus, wherever you want to be. Maybe it's real windy in your house today and you're blowing all over the place. That's okay too. Great job. Now we're dropping back down into our Tadasana. Those arms are reaching up overhead. We can exhale, fold everything forward. Again, taking a second, rocking side to side, maybe bending and straightening the knees. Good. We're inhaling into that halfway lift. Back is nice and flat. And then we can exhale, fold it forward, rolling everything down. We're getting a big inhale to that halfway lift. And then exhale, folding it forward. And then nice and slow, we can roll everything up. One vertebra at a time. Head's the last thing to come up. Now that we're at the top, we're gonna take a couple more shoulder rolls, just like we did at the beginning of class, rolling backwards, and then maybe rolling forwards. Good. All right, we can come back to neutral shoulders. We're planting through that right foot. Left knee's coming in towards heart center, and we're gonna sit down into a little bit of a baby chair and cross the legs so we're in this balancing figure four position. We're gonna start here. See if you can sink, oh, I'm feeling real wobbly today. See if you can sink a little bit deeper into this chair. Maybe you fold all the way forward over the legs. Good. Maybe you wanna take a full eagle here, crossing your left leg all the way over the right. Maybe you even add some eagle arms. Whatever might feel good here. Whatever challenge you want to take, go for it. Good. Then we can come all the way up, dropping everything back down. You can shake it out, tap out those legs. They are working hard. Good. All right, now we're planting down through our left leg this time. Right knee comes in towards heart center. We're dropping into that baby chair and then crossing the leg, starting in your figure four. Maybe this is enough. Or maybe you want to come all the way into that eagle pose, wrapping the leg, and then maybe even adding the arms. Good. Stay strong here. And then we can come all the way back up. We'll shake it out, tapping those glutes and those legs, inhaling those arms up overhead, and then exhale, folding it forward, planting those hands and stepping back into our down dog. You have a couple of options here. Maybe you want to hang out in your down dog. Maybe you want to drop those knees down, bringing the toes together, and press back into a child's pose. Or maybe you want to play with a vinyasa flow, pressing back into your down dog, rocking forward to the plank, dropping either to your knees or not, lowering all the way down, lifting up into a back bend, and then pressing back into that down dog. If that's a flow you would like to come back to at any point through the rest of class, you are more than welcome to do so. Beautiful. All right, we're all gonna meet back in our down dog if you are in something different. And now we're lifting right leg up and stepping right leg all the way through. This time rolling open into a warrior two on this side. So front toes are facing forward, back toes are parallel with the back of the mat. Arms are out to the side, shoulders are rolled down and back. We are lifting the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Now, we're flipping that front palm, reaching forward, hinging at this front hip, forearm plants, backhand reaches. This is your side angle. If the hand reaching up overhead does not feel good today, we can bring that arm back behind us, coming into a half bind. Beautiful. We're gonna cartwheel those hands back up to our warrior two. We still have a good strong bend in that front knee. Now we're reaching forward and then sliding back hand all the way down back leg, reversing that warrior. Front palm flip is up. Maybe you're looking up towards the sky. Beautiful warriors. And then we can cartwheel everything back forward. We're gonna straighten this front leg, and you're sliding the front palm all the way down this front leg, hinging at the hips. Belly stays nice and strong here. Good. We can bring the bend back into the knee, coming back into our warrior two. You're gonna go ahead and grab one of your blocks here. We're playing with some extra balance challenge. I like to have that block about 6 inches in front of my front foot. Those arms are out to the side and we're reaching forward down onto the block. Back leg lifts, pelvis, chest, and heart are all opening out to the side. This is your half moon. Nice work. In your half moon, you can play with lifting up off your block. You can play with bringing a bend into this back knee and reaching for that foot. If you don't quite reach it, that's okay. I don't. Beautiful. If you're in that bind where you're reaching for that back foot, straighten that foot back out. And we're gonna plant back in our warrior two. Nice work, y'all. Now we're flipping everything to face forward. Those toes are turned ever so slightly out towards the corners of our mats. Those arms are reaching up overhead, and as we exhale, elbows drop down towards hips, and we're sinking into a squat. Important to note here, once we're in that squat, we're not arching that spine, we're pulling belly button, we're pulling ribs towards hips, tucking that pelvis. Arms are up. Getting a little bit of that extra burn here. Beautiful. We can come all the way up out of here, out of this goddess. Toes face all the way forward. And we're exhaling, coming into that wide leg forward fold. You can be out as wide as you would like to be, or as close together as you would like to be. Taking a second. Coming back to that breath. I know my heart's beating. Slowing down a little bit here. Beautiful. Now we're walking the hands forward to frame this front foot, planting the hands, and stepping everything back into the down dog. If you would like to come back to that vinyasa flow here, you are more than welcome to. If you want to hang out in your down dog, you are more than welcome to. Or maybe we're dropping in to that child's pose. Whatever feels good for you here. Now, wherever you are, we're all gonna be back in our down dog. This time, left leg lifts. Left leg is stepping all the way forward, coming into our warrior two on this side. So our left toes are facing forward, back toes are parallel towards the back of the mat. Arms are out to the side, shoulders are rolled down and back. Good strong warriors here. We're flipping this front palm up, reaching forward towards the front of the room. Forearm plants, backhand reaches up and over. This is your side angle. We have a good strong bend in that front knee. Maybe you reach the arm back behind you. Good. Now we're cartwheeling those hands back up, coming back into our warrior two. And then the back hand slides all the way down from back leg. Front palm reaches up and over. This is your reverse warrior. Good. And everything comes back forward. We're straightening this front leg. Front palm slides all the way down front leg, coming into your triangle here. Beautiful. Now bringing a bend back into the knee, coming up nice and tall. You're gonna grab one of your blocks here for support, planting that block right in front of that front foot. And then we're reaching down, planting the hand on the block, and back leg lifts. We're opening up into our half moon on this side. Again, we're planting through base of big toe, base of pinky toe, and heel here. Our pelvis is open towards the front of the room, and so is our rib cage. Maybe the arms are reaching up overhead. Maybe you're bending that back leg, reaching around, grabbing onto it. Beautiful. Now we're dropping back into our warrior two, just as a quick transition. Then we're turning those toes out to the sides. Arms are reaching up overhead. We are exhaling, dropping down into that goddess. Those ribs are pulling towards those hips, and we're tucking that tailbone. Beautiful. We're holding here for just a second. Getting an extra burn. Nice. Keep it up. And we're inhaling. Arms are reaching up overhead. Toes face all the way forward this time. And we are exhaling, folding forward into that wide leg forward fold. You can play with rocking side to side and back and forth. Maybe play with bending into one knee and then the other. Anything that feels good. Allowing the breath to slow down. Wonderful. We're gonna walk those hands to frame this front foot, pivoting everything towards the front of the room and stepping back into our down dog. This will be your last down dog of class, so if you would like to take anything extra here, please go for it. If you would like another vinyasa flow, or maybe you would like to take a wild thing or something like that, please do so. Otherwise, we're all gonna meet back in our child's pose. So the toes are together, knees are out wide. We are pressed back, getting some big, deep breaths. We're gonna start by walking our hands over to the right side of your room, getting a nice side body stretch. You can walk the hands back center and we'll work over towards the left side of our room. And then both hands walk all the way forward. Maybe you see if you can inch those fingertips ever so slightly more forward. So we're gonna pull ourselves up and move onto our bellies. If you'll keep these hands planted right beside your rib cage, then we're gonna play with dropping one shoulder down to the mat and then back up, and then dropping one shoulder down to the mat and back up, back forth, back forth. Good. And then we can go ahead and lower all the way down. You can create a little pillow for your head. And then those feet are gonna kick up towards the sky. And you're gonna go ahead and windshield wiper those legs back forth, allowing your pelvis to lift up off the mat with each rock. Good, then you can go ahead and drop those feet out long. We're gonna take that right knee and bring it up to the outside of your mat. And then we're planting through that right hand, reaching left hand through, grabbing onto that knee, and then opening up. Coming into our supine twist. Just kind of a funky way of getting there. Maybe you get some snap, crackle, pops, maybe not. Beautiful. Now we're gonna come back center, coming back onto our bellies, this time doing the other side. So that left knee's coming up nice and tall, planting through the left hand, right hand is reaching through, and we're twisting open this way. Getting some big deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling. Allowing everything to soften. You can bring this leg back behind you and we'll come up out of this twist. And we're all gonna meet on our backs, however, which way you would like to get there. Flipping over is probably easiest. And you're gonna grab one of your blocks, make sure that's close. And we're bringing those knees into heart center, rocking and rolling around on that low back. Getting big, deep breaths. Good. Then we can plant those feet down on the mat. You're gonna squeeze those glutes, lifting the hips up towards the sky. Coming here, and you can slide that block right up underneath that sacrum. So it's not quite the low back, not quite that tailbone, just kind of that space in between. It should feel mostly comfortable when it gets there. And then once you're here, you can keep the feet planted, or maybe you wanna lift the feet up towards the sky. Whatever might feel good. Another option, the feet can walk out long. Coming here. Lots of different options for you. Getting some big deep breaths here. Allowing the breath to slow down and the body to start to cool down. Now, if you would like to stay here for Shavasana, you are more than welcome to. Otherwise, now would be the time to shift and move into that final resting posture that we call Shavasana. If you would like to be out long, that is a great option. If you'd like to have your blocks or pillows supporting up under your knees or a blanket up under that head, those are also great options for you. You can allow the mind to quiet, the breath to slow. Welcome to your Shavasana. You can begin to bring your attention back to the space, back to your body, back to your breath. You can bring movement back into your system by wiggling fingers and toes and taking some big belly breaths. I want you to come back to breathing in that light, that love, that joy, and exhaling all of that bad, the yucky. Maybe get a couple more big, deep breaths doing this. Filling your body with good. Letting everything that does not serve you leave. I think it's important that we recognize that without the bad, we cannot have the good. And without the good, we cannot have the bad. Whenever you're ready, you can move into a comfortable seated position, maybe taking a second at your side before you get there. And then those hands can come to heart center. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Remember, motion is lotion. Namaste.